Okay, everybody. I think I got the audio set up this time where you can actually hear. It's not all garbled. So I want to do another instructional video to replace the last one with. It's taken me like half the day, but it's totally worth it if you can actually hear. So, part of this isn't going to work because I'm using a recording program to be able to show you this. So when I try to log into the meetups, it won't work. Like I did before, that's what was happening. And I'll get more into the meetup. So when you get the invitation, I'm going to walk through the Taiga login. When you get the invitation, this is what it's going to look like, Taiga.io. You've been in invitation to join the project Bull Run Days Planning and Production. You go in there, this is what it'll look like, and you want to accept the invitation, and it'll bounce you over to Taiga, and you'll register a new account. I set up a special email so that we could do this. I used one of mine last time, and I can't send it to myself again. I can't walk through it. So I test Johnson is what I picked here, and we'll say tester. His email Johnson 719. You'll put your email in at gmail.com. Whoops. And you put a password in. And you got to click this to agree to their stuff. And then hit sign up. When it brings you in here, it's going to show you everything that's happened. This is what Googly Moogly I added earlier. This is links to bands that we need to start reviewing and make a decision so we can approach them. But everything that has happened recently, most recently, and then all the way through everything, you can give you a basic rundown of any changes that have happened. So up here is just like Google, Facebook, anything else. This is where your user account is. When you click on that the first time, it'll ask you to go on a tour. You can if you want to or not, but I'm going to walk through it real quick. Let's take a quick tour to check out how this tool works. User stories are in the Kanban. User stories represent single units of work. They can have tasks, attachments, comments, and many more elements. So I guess they call it a user story because it can have tasks inside of it, and they're assigned to individuals or teams. Epics are a collection of user stories, so it's like the next step up, kind of the higher up view. They represent a larger chunk of work. Progress on epics can be followed when user stories are completed or when they're in process, whatever. Projects represent categories of work. So this is the Bull Run Days Planning Committee project, right? They can map to a specific product or account or an open-ended stream of work. So this is how it all lays together. So this would be our project for Bull Run Days Planning. This could be 4th of July. This could be like an ATV event or something like that. And each one of these epics, which I'll show you, can cross all of these projects. So if we're working on, let's say, entertainment or food or equipment or lights or whatever, it could be applied to multiple projects. So we have everything, all the information, all in one spot. So if you're on one of these planning committees and it gets extended later, there might be more than one project going on. That would be nice to be able to handle it that way. And then it'll ask you if you want to go on more extended tour. It'll show you a demo project. You can create your own new project with your login that's separate from this private project. But for now, we're going to end the tour. Here, you can change everything for your user settings. Put a nice little picture in there of yourself if you want or whatever. Change your password. Set your start page if you want to go to the timeline like you just saw, or to anywhere that you want to go when you open up or log into Taiga. It'll take you there. Email and desktop notifications, you can set them to, right now this is set to I'm getting no notifications. in this account here. So, and what you're involved in, what you're not involved in. You're not going to be able to set up any notifications, most likely, unless you have been assigned something. So, events, well, like basically, if you turn this on, that's what you're going to see on that first page, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it. So you want to go to projects. You will have access to Bull Run Days planning and production. Hello. There we go. And when you come in here to the project, this is that first page you're talking about. This is the epics. So this is the higher up view. So in epic number 2, I don't know, they give them different numbers. I think I deleted number 1. But epic number 2, we have its fundraisers. We have bake sale, raffles, sponsors, sell out last year's donated items. So it'll have a drop down if it has any of those. If it doesn't have any of those, then it'll be its own epic without any user stories to show in the drop down. Vendors, vendor outreach, inquire about mechanical bull, which I still haven't found anything out about. Find and report info on Burnt River EMS, which is actually, I think, completed. So the epics, that's the kind of the higher, and then the Kanban, we're not going to worry about the Scrum or any of the issues. The Kanban is where all the user stories are, all the different tasks that we assign to each other. Again, it's called user stories because each one can have a task. So upcoming, ready, in progress, ready for test, like we're waiting to hear back from insurance to see whether or not they're going to charge us $9,000 or $10,000 for a skeet shoot, or we're waiting for somebody to see if this equipment works, or waiting for somebody to get back to us and give us a price on something, that kind of thing. And then, of course, the completed and archived, it's pretty self-explanatory. So I want to take a look at one of these. See that shows you, this is the epic that it's in. It's in the epic of fundraisers. It's called Bake Sale. It's not assigned to anybody. This one over here, that's my little face. If you hover over it, it'll tell you the person's name. This is memory over here. Tells you who is assigned to. Once people are actually fully on board, then we can assign things to people. Or you can log in and look and see, send us a message and say, hey, I'm going to be in that town on that day, or I'm going to be doing this that day. I can take on this this user story here. So I want to go into, I guess, this one, inquire about the mechanical bull, just to drill down a little bit on the user stories, because it can have individual tasks, right? So you can expand it out and see that I contacted Cherry Grove Festival. They told me to get a hold of the steakhouse, right? Which I still haven't heard back from them. So you can have multiple tasks inside each user story, which itself is just a higher level of a task. So that should pretty much go through that. It's pretty self-explanatory. We'll be obviously adding more things as we go. The good thing, before I get to the meetup, which is right down here on the lower left-hand side, about this, and one of the reasons besides being able to control lots of things, all of our information is here. For one, the wiki is basically the library. I put one in here for the meetup, so it's you can see what it looks like. The meeting schedule is here, and you'll have to download these. It doesn't open them for some reason for you, but everything is there. You can see the meeting schedule, and I don't know, I guess I put it in there twice for some reason. Once we have more contacts of everybody, I'll add some right now, but that'll be a continually added to list whenever we contact people for whatever, so that we can have it later for next year, etc. Equipment, finances, pictures of the logos that we're using for Bull Run Days and everything. Other pictures that we can upload. I don't think anything's been loaded here yet, but we should put everything that we have for Bull Run Days up here. And then other resources, links is what I'm going to put in here, links to so and so and so and so. like the OLCC or whatever else that we need to get a hold of. This is who and how we contact them. And then sponsors, that we don't have our sponsors list yet in there. We do have from last year, and I can upload those here. So the other thing, so we have everything here. And the good thing about it is we can literally, once we're done this year, we can copy this whole project and put, the next year's season on it, 2023 or whatever, and continue on with the next year and have all of the same information, all of the tasks laid out, everything, and we can just hit the ground running literally the day after Bull Run Days, or even the last day of Bull Run Days, so we can have things ready, our contract and all that, for everybody the next year, so we can capitalize on that. Okay, I don't want to beat that horse anymore. It's just super awesome once we get it going. So the meetup, this is where you'll log in for, the meetings just before 6 o'clock probably. And the rooms, like I said, will be open at 5:30. All you have to do is click that button. Another window will open, and it'll take you over here. Like I said, let's see, webcam. Let's see if it'll allow it this time. No, it will not, because I'm using OBS. But that won't happen to you. You will have to allow it, and it'll already know who you are because you're coming from Taiga, and you set up this stuff, which camera you want to use, which device you want to use for this sort of stuff. It's not showing anything because I have another program controlling it right now, and it doesn't like that. They're fighting with each other. But other than that, all you do is click join, and you're in the meeting room. There's no sign up, no login, no downloading anything. So as long as you can log into Taiga, whether it's on your phone or at home on a computer or tablet or whatever, you should be able to get to the meetings anywhere that you're at. Took me a while to get something that would work that way, so it's less of a hassle. So that's another reason why Taiga is so important, because you have one login where you don't have to worry about Facebook and all these different social media or your email or anything like that. You should only have to deal with the email one time, and then we'll all be at the meeting. And then one of the things that will be in the wiki, we shouldn't even really need any meeting minutes, because we're recording. The videos are recorded on the meetups, and you should be able to go back and see anything that you missed at any of the previous events. So we shouldn't need really any minutes, but also in our wiki, there will be here in meetings and schedules, I'll upload those videos to here on the Taiga server, so that you can just go directly to it. And because you probably won't be able to access those via the meetup link, because you won't have the correct credentials to log in. So when you're coming and you're running all this and you're setting up and you're testing and everything, if it's outside of a meeting time, don't freak out if you click meetup and it doesn't work. If it says give me a password or something like that, it's simply because it's not one of the scheduled times for the meeting. So yeah, I don't want to beat this horse anymore. I think that's pretty much everything. If anybody has any questions, email the Action Council, or you can email me, dan.davis2020@mail.com, and I can walk you through it. I know it seems like kind of a hassle. Why don't we get together? Well, gas prices are terrible, for one. Nobody really lives very closely to one another, and as I said, once this gets going and everybody, I think, fully understands how it works and why we would use it, I think everybody's going to love it and not want to go away from it. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you going through everything, signing up. Like I said, let me know if you have any issues. Have a great day.